Okay, I'm sharing. Good. All right. All right. You can see my big screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good. And switching slides, you can see?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Because a lot of times this is a problem. All right. So as I just mentioned, the entire Molchanovs instructor course is quite well structured. They're bite-sized presentations, so it's not theory after theory after theory. The course is sort of similarly structured as the IDA course. And Ollie Christen, who developed the last IDA presentations, IDA courses, he also structured and he also developed the Molchanovs course. So this is why the courses are quite similar. The entire teaching system of Molchanovs and actually the entire structure of the programs is quite similar to the IDA programs, more than, for example, with PADI or SSI or RATE. IDA and Molchanovs are quite similar, but we're going to talk about the differences of the different agencies quite a lot this next couple of days. So welcome. Now introduce yourself. We already talked about this a little bit. The wave 3, what do we need to start with this? Wave 3 certification, access to the Molchanovs dashboard. Did you have access to this?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I already a wave 3 student, so you should have had access to this already. Molchanovs standards, did you get a chance to go over them?
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Okay. Any weird things, any interesting things already?
It is interesting, but like there's, you know, that this is a foreign language, so sometimes there will be a problem with the language that I need to check it out. But so far, so good.
Okay, cool.
I haven't finished it, but it's quite nice to read it.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be very important for you as an instructor. We're going to talk about this a lot. So the standards for each agency are basically the rules and regulations you're allowed to teach with. And as an instructor, you need to abide or follow these rules, these regulations. And this is going to be very important during your teaching. All agencies have standards. The standards, for example, SSI are completely different. SSI is more in-depth. Like I said, we're going to talk a lot about the differences in agencies. But if you look at SSI standards, they are much more in-depth, much more detailed than, for example, the Molchanovs standards. But in essence, they both describe how we should teach certain courses. The only difference, the big difference with SSI, for example, is that SSI or PADI or RATE also dictates what you need to have as an SSI center. Are you still there?
Yeah. Wait a second. I need to charge my phone.
Okay, cool.
Cái dây cắm của em nó hơi ngắn. Okay, we can go on.
Yeah.
I need to charge my phone in a different location so you cannot see me, but I can hear you, Kelly.
Okay. Okay.
Đi mua đồ đi về rồi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
No worries.
We can go on.
Oh, that's okay. Good. Yeah. You're good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So, so this is the standards. The difference with other agencies like PADI, SSI, and RAGE is that they also include for dive centers how it is to operate because there are rules and regulations. Of course, with Molchanovs and with IDA, you can also work, and with PADI, you can also work as an independent instructor. So then additional opportunity to take notes, we talked about this, and then later also an action camera and frame software. This is something really emphasized with Molchanovs too, and this is something I really like how Molchanovs is promoting this. They make it almost mandatory to have action cameras like GoPro or like other action cameras to record the skills with your students. So when you do a session, you know, I can explain a skill, I can correct a skill, telling you that you need to do this, this, and this. But the moment I record you in the pool or in the ocean, I record it, and then you do it again. Yeah, then you see it, then you really see that you're doing something wrong, or that you miss, that something is off. I remember, you know, often when people, you tell them, okay, you have a little bit of a back kick, for example, they don't know exactly, what does a back kick means, how does it work, and the moment you show them a video of their back kick, then they understand what they're doing and how it is to correct. So, and Molchanovs really emphasizes on the fact that instructors need to make students technique. So they really want students to, or they want instructors to bring action cameras. Of course, for our instructor course, you need to record some pool presentations and some ocean presentations. And then you also need it, but for you becoming an instructor, it's highly recommended. It's a fantastic tool to teach. So yeah, we need to do this too. But that's for later. We're gonna go on certification requirements for this instructor course. We're going to pay attention to punctuality, respect, professional assessment, and leading warm-up. Okay. Classroom assessment. After this course, I will design and I will sign a training record. And a training record, so there are two things very important for you. One is the standards, and the second is a training record. And the training record is something that all agencies have in some form or way. And a training record with Molchanovs, we call this the course completion form. And this is where I sign you off that you did all the academic presentations, all the theory, all the breeding presentations, all the presentations, classroom presentations, ocean presentations, pool presentations, and all the dry teaching presentations. I will show one later today, but yeah, we're gonna, I'll probably show one maybe day 3, maybe day 4, but we're gonna talk about this too. Furthermore, so it's going to be important, all academic sessions attended, obviously. We're going to have 3 exams. So you're going to have the Wave 2 instructor entry exam, which is basically to make sure that your level of knowledge is up to speed. Now, the entry level exam is about the Wave 1, the Wave 2, and the Wave 3 skills, knowledge. The final exam is the second exam. Final exam is about what it is to be an instructor, how to implement certain things, how to do certain things in the classroom. Both of them, especially the final exam, is also about the standards. So how many students can you have during a level 1 course? How many, what's the minimum age for level 1 students? This is going to be very important. The third exam is going to be the online teaching exam. Molchanovs is the only agency that really offers different levels of teaching or different types of teaching. So let me, hopefully you can see this. So I'm going to go into this a little bit more in depth later, but you have the Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, and the Wave 4. You can see this?
Yep.
On the board?
Yep. Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. So these are the Wave 1 courses. Now, one big difference with Molchanovs and other agencies is, of course, the Wave 4. The Wave 4 is really a competitive level. Molchanovs currently is redesigning or rewriting the course material for the Wave 4, because at the moment there are only 4 instructors who can teach the Wave 4. That's Alexei, that's Thibaut, that's Adam, and that's Vitomir. So only these 4. The Wave 4 is I believe it's a 10-day program or 12-day program, and the Wave 4 is only about depth or serious pool distance. So it's a competitive level in freediving. They are going to rewrite it right now, but SSI, IDA, PADI, none of them have a 4th level. So this is going to be quite interesting in the next years. In the next years, how this will develop. Now, the difference between Molchanovs and other agencies is that they also have the Lab 1, Lab 2, Lab 3, and the Lab 4. So they have 2 levels. If you look at IDA, for example, or SSI, they only have 1 pool level, and that's the IDA 2-star or the SSI level 1. And then from the SSI level 1 pool freediver or the IDA 2-star pool freediver, you first need to complete the open water part, and then you can continue in the next levels of freediver. The difference with Molchanovs is that they also have an T1, a T2, a T3, and a T4. And this stands for Theory 1 freediver, Theory 2 freediver, Theory 3 freediver, and Theory 4 freediver. But Molchanovs started with this February last year, so just before the whole world really stopped spinning. Now, the good thing about this is, again, we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but let's a little bit ahead of myself. After you complete a T1, you can complete a T1 certification is a proper certification. You complete the T1, you get certified, and then you can continue to do the Lab 1 or the Wave 1 course with any other instructor. So if a student does a T1 course with me, they can go to Vietnam and do a Lab 1 course with you. Then you can only do the open water sessions or the pool sessions, and then you can certify the students. So you don't need to do the theory part. We're going to talk a lot about this because Molchanovs does this T program a lot. And the good thing for you about the instructor is that you can teach this T certification, the theory certification, is online. So just this instructor course, we're going to have 3 exams. You're going to have the entry exam, final exam, and you're going to have a theory exam, so the online teaching exam. Now, normally we need to do workshops with this. We're already doing the instructor course online, so this is like a simulated classroom environment, so this is going to be easy. But we're going to talk about things that you need to keep in mind when you start teaching online courses. So yeah, you need to keep this in mind, or what you need to keep in mind. And this is the 3rd exam. We're going to do this on the probably the 3rd or the last day, 3rd or the 4th day, and then after this you're going to get an exam, relatively easy exam, and then yeah, relatively easy exam. But yeah, and then you can teach these courses too. So this is completely new. Not all Molchanovs instructors can teach online courses. If you're not a Molchanovs instructor, Molchanovs online teaching instructor, you need to do this online teaching exam with a trainer. And you can either watch a seminar or follow a course, a workshop like we are going to do, and then do the exam, and then you can certify. Then you can request to get certified for online teaching. Of course, now with this course, it's going to be integrated, and after this, you will be able to teach the T1, the T2, T1 or the L1, Lab 2, and the Wave 1 and the Wave 2. So these are the courses that you will be able to teach after this. So other assessment is a knowledge review leading for the Wave 1 or Wave 2, about 15 minutes. And we're going to do a dry teaching assessment from this, for the Wave 1 or the Wave 2. And we're going to talk a lot about the breathing presentations, which is the dry teaching assessment. For the Wave 1, or the Lab 1, or let's say the level 1 course, the most important skill you're going to be teaching is the breathing presentation. Like I said already, people start freediving for different reasons, just like you and I want to become an instructor for different reasons. People start freediving for different reasons too. Some people start freediving for the social aspect. Some people start freediving for the experience. Some people start freediving to be longer on the water for photos, for the travel opportunities, for the performance, for the sport. In essence, everyone who does a freediving course wants to learn how to hold their breath longer. Simple as that. For us, so this makes for the level 1 the breathing presentation essential. It's going to be the most important part of the course. My experience showed that even if it's going to be a horrible course, the students is very nervous in the water. They don't have enough waterman skills. They're not comfortable. If students want to, if they're not comfortable in the water, or they don't pass the open water requirements, if you can get them to do a 3-minute breath hold, they're so surprised, they're so baffled by this. If you can get them to do a 2.5 or a 3-minute breath-hold in the classroom, they're gonna love the course. Even they don't get certified for open water, they're gonna be happy. So this is gonna be very, very, very important. My advice is, especially now because we're doing this online, start doing these breath-hold workshops as soon as possible with friends, relatives. You know, put them on a yoga mat on the course and do this workshop. So we're going to talk a lot about this. This is going to be the most important part of your Wave 1, Lab 1, and Theory 1 courses. You need to master this workshop. So we're going to, and I'm going to give you a lot of tips to do these workshops. The second level, the Wave 2, is of course the Frenzel workshop. The most important part of the Frenzel of the Wave 2 course is Frenzel equalization. If you have students who are doing Frenzel automatically, it's going to be a relatively easy level 2 course. If they're not going to do Frenzel automatically and you need to teach them Frenzel, it can be a very difficult and challenging course. You know this the moment you start your course. You ask them to demonstrate Frenzel. If they can do Frenzel, perfect, forget about it. You can give them some tips and pointers, but if they don't do Frenzel, you'll be teaching Frenzel in the morning, in the afternoon, and you're going to give them homework for practicing Frenzel at night. It can be a very challenging course because the Wave 2 course, Frenzel is mandatory. With the Wave 1 course, they can go down with Frenzel, with Valsalva, they can go hands-free, it doesn't matter what they do, even Tony B equalization, it's all okay, doesn't matter. But Wave 2, they need to do Frenzel. So this, of course, is going to be a mandatory topic, and we're going to spend a lot of time with this too. So I'm going to give you the exact exercises that I use in my teaching, that all of our instructors here are using for Frenzel workshops. The exact same workshops, the exact same exercises, everything. So we're going to go over this. So these are going to be 2 big workshops too. Of course, we're going to talk about pool teaching assessment for static, dynamic, and we're going to do this for the Wave 1 and the Wave 2, and for dynamic, also for the Wave 1 and Wave 2. I'm missing a 2 here. These are the new slides, so I see that here's missing 2. So the pool performance requirements, static is 4 minutes. What's your static PB?
6.4.
Sorry?
6 minutes and 4 seconds.
Ah, that's good already. Ah, you like static?
So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Performance requirements is that dynamic no fins technique, dynamic no fins 60 meters. What's your dynamic no fins PB?
75.
Good. Very good freediver. It's going to be nice.
Nice.
So, dynamic no fins pool performance requirements 60 meter. Are you still training every day or every week?
I would say once a while because here is the situation changes, so I cannot go to the pool every day anymore.
Okay.
All the pool is forbidden and the sea is so far away.
Okay.
So like few times per month.
But pools are still open. You can go to the pool in Vietnam.
Not anymore.
Not anymore right now. Okay.
Just the broadcast last week. So I think the situation will be like this for a month at least.
Oh, that's a little bit bad situation. Yeah, you hear this a lot. The situation here in Palau and the Philippines, we can do everything we want. The pools are open. We can go out in the ocean every day. So for the past year, we're quite lucky here. But yeah, I have friends also in Vietnam. We're teaching there and in Malaysia, and yeah, 1 week they can go into the pool, and the next week they cannot go, and yeah, it's always a little bit difficult situation. How's the overall situation now in Vietnam? Are things getting better, I think. Eh?
It's kind of weird, like, so during last year for a year, it's 4 times that COVID broke out, and then we control the situation for after a month, and we're back to normal again, and then it's break out again. It's happened 4 times already, so this is the biggest one so far.
Okay, all right.
So maybe, hopefully, things will be get back to normal after a month, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is sort of the same situation as in Thailand. Thailand, at the moment, they are in a massive lockdown. No one is allowed to go outside their house, and you cannot go to the pool or to the ocean. And then things are normal, and then all of a sudden it spikes again, and then things are under control. Here in the Philippines, it's just been going up and up and up, and especially the last couple of months, yeah, people are not listening, people are not doing, yeah, it's a little bit weird situation, but it's okay. Oh well. Hopefully you can access the pool soon enough again.
Me too.
So then furthermore, you need to demonstrate proper dynamic bifins technique, so flutter kick. Dynamic monofin technique. So one of the things that I really like about Molchanovs is that, like no other agency, SSI has flutter kick, the bifins, and a little bit free immersion, but they remove the free immersion requirements from the courses so that they can make a specialty. They now have the free immersion specialty, but all the requirements are done with bifins. Molchanovs promotes free immersion, bifins, monofin, and no fins in all their courses. And with the level 2, they even do monofin and no fins in the ocean already. You don't, as a teacher, you don't need to have monofins because you can do this with simple bifins. It's really nice to learn. Here we teach a lot of monofin specialty courses, and the monofin courses are quite popular. With Molchanovs, you integrate this into your courses. Then, so you need to demonstrate monofin and dynamic bifins requirement is 100 meters. What's your PB, dynamic bifins?
100.
So this is quite a tough one. Teaching assessment, we're going to do skills and setup handling. And setup handling means that you need to demonstrate setting up a buoy, you know, that you like. Well, I'm not going to ask you to record this on video. I'll take it if you know how to set up a buoy, and it's okay. Open water performance requirements are a little bit different than with other agencies. Again, sort of similar as with IDA, but there are some differences. Constant weight bifin technique, again, demonstrating constant weight bifin dive to 40 meters with a dive time of 80 and 90 seconds. Constant no fins techniques. Now, the big challenge for a lot of people is the constant no fins to 30 meters. This is quite challenging for a lot of people. What's your constant no fins?
31.
31. Ah, that's good already. And your bifins?
41.
41. Good. Okay, nice. So, constant no fins is the most challenging.
Yeah, I agree that because I got the SSY with level 1 and level 2, and then I moved to wave 3 with no fin technique. It's like so struggling for me.
So this is for a lot of people the big challenge. We see here in our center that you know, no fins is something different than bifins. You know, when you go down bifins, you know, you have your legs to move, and the moment you start finning or pulling up, you're moving. But when you do a dive and no fins dive to 30 meters, you know, at the bottom, the first time you do an arm stroke, you're moving. You're not.
Yeah.
And immediately you get the contractions and the challenge and the lactic acid. And, yeah, no finish is quite challenging. So a lot of people struggle with this, but still doable. You need to train for this, but okay. Demonstrating proper free immersion technique. Free immersion 40 meters is one of the requirements. So with Molchanovs, you have bifins and free immersion technique. And you need to demonstrate constant weight, monofin technique. And of course, this is a little bit different in the ocean than in the pool, because in the pool you can use a glide with a monofin, and with the monofin in the ocean, of course, it's a continuous motion going up. And in the pool, you do often kick, glide, or kick, kick, glide. And this is a little bit, but again, we're going to talk about this a lot this course. Other open water requirement is a 15-meter standby rescue. This one is a little bit easier than the SSI. You need to demonstrate. You need to go down to 15 meter. At 15 meter, you turn, you hang for 1 minute. After 1 minute, your body should be there, and then you take your body from 15 meter up towards the surface. This is to mimic the rescue situation. You know, it will happen a lot that when you do deep rescue for your bodies, that maybe the dive time is not estimated properly, or you know, there's a lot of current, so the dive time will be a little bit slower. And that means that if you by accident go down a little bit early, or the dive time changes, that you need to hang at depth. So you need to, this is going to be one of the skills. You need to go down to 15 meter, hang there for 1 minute, and then rescue the other person. This is a mental skill, challenging rescue. The second open water skill that you need to do is a CO2 dive. A CO2 dive is arms out of the water like this, kicking on the surface for 1 minute. Then you do one deep inhale and you go down to 20 meters. Now, what happens when you do this? Of course, tick, 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 tick. There's a lot of CO2 built up in the body. So the moment you do and you go down, after 3 minutes, 3 meters or 4 meters, you get contractions. Immediately you feel it in your legs. There's no fraction. There's carbon dioxide in your muscles. You get lactic acid. You feel contractions, and then you need to have the mental challenge of going down to depth. Now, this is a big difference with other agencies, like, for example, SSI. SSI has the 5 times 20. So at the surface, you breathe up, you go to 20 meters, you come back to the surface, you breathe for 1 minute, go down again to 20, go to the surface, you breathe for 1 minute, go down. The reason why Molchanovs took this out of their how do you say this? Because there's a slight chance that you get DCS going up and down, up and down, up and down. And it never happens because DCS is more for deep diving, but theoretically you could get DCS from this. So Molchanovs says we're going to remove this from the skills requirements, and we're going to do a CO2 dive. The next rescue that we're going to do is the most challenging rescue, or the most challenging requirement, and it's the blackout rescue from 25 meters with a 50-meter tow, including rescue rods. So this is quite, quite a tough one. Going to 25 meters together with your body, coming up, turning together, and then between 20, around 20 meters, 50, between 20 and 15, your body will get a blackout, and then you need to take it all the way to the surface, and then you do a 25-meter tow. 50-meter tow. This is going to be a tough, tiring one, and you need to
I still remember experience the
Conditions are
20.
nice, it's okay, but it's a challenging one. Yeah. The Molchanovs instructor philosophy, you need to be able to, your students should be able to be fully focused and easy dives. It needs to be easy for your students, they need to enjoy. And this is, for example, to give you an example, students should not be pushing, they should not be challenging, it needs to be fun for them. Give you an example where I did this always wrong, or not wrong, where I did this differently with SSI, for example, or IDA courses that I teach. So with IDA or with SSI, when I was doing the breathing presentation, I had the one that we're just talking about, I always had the idea, if I can get the students to 3 minutes or to 3.5 minutes or even 4 minutes or longer with their breath hold here in the classroom, it's going to be a mind blow. They don't expect that they can hold the breath for 3 minutes or even longer. I was thinking, if I can get my students to 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes or even to 4 minutes, they're going to love the course. They're going to be hooked on freediving. You know, this would be true. That makes sense. Molchanovs has a different philosophy. Molchanovs says, the moment they get uncomfortable, start breathing again. It's not about max attempt or, you know, contractions, because when students are holding their breath for 3 minutes or to 4 minutes, they're going to get uncomfortable. They're going to get contractions. They're going to be challenging themselves. Molchanovs says, don't do this. Make it easy breath holds or easy dives, and they will be comfortable, and the next time they do it, they get more comfortable and more comfortable and more comfortable and more comfortable, and it will be easy for them. This is a big difference in approach. So my approach was, okay, let's challenge the students and let's get out of their comfort zone and, you know, let's surprise them. Molchanovs says, okay, just keep it fun, easy and comfortable, and then progression will come. A different approach. There's good and bad things for both approaches. This is the Molchanovs approach. I think this is also a good way. For you as an instructor, so enable students to be fully focused on dives. Immerse yourself in the experience of the students. For you as an instructor, you're not going to like every dive, but you should enjoy every breath hold, every attempt they're doing. Yeah. So what makes Molchanovs different than other agencies? Of course, we're going to talk a lot about this during this course. I'm going to tell you already, every agency says they're different and better. And I've done an IDA instructor course, an SSI instructor course, Molchanovs instructor course, and a RATE instructor course. And all of them said they're different, and all of them say they're the best. Well, you know, they're all quite similar, I can tell you that already. There are differences with each agencies. Which agency is the best? You know, I think it depends on your needs. Like I said, also in the first meeting, we teach we teach Molchanovs and SSI. They're completely different courses, different agencies, and I think that with the instructor course, I think the SSI instructor course is really in depth, where we really develop dive professionals, where, you know, for people that want to work as a dive professional, I think the SSI instructor course is by far the best. I think that said, if you don't plan on working as a dive professional, but you want to teach occasionally more as a freelancer, maybe the Molchanovs instructor course will be much more for your liking. Same goes for the recreational levels. You know, if you want to become a freediver to be in the ocean, to have some fun, you want to do some photos, or you want to take freediving to become a photographer and to stay down a little bit longer. Maybe the SSI recreational course is much more suited for your needs. If you want to be comfortable in the water and you want to develop your skills, then probably the Molchanovs wave courses are much more suited for you. So different courses, I think, with Molchanovs and SSI, we have the best of both worlds. I honestly believe that. I think the Molchanovs courses, recreational and professional, are quite comparable to the IDA systems. I like IDA. I'm romantic about IDA. They developed IDA to what it is today, or they developed freediving for what it is today. But yeah, what Molchanovs is offering to their students, to their instructors, IDA cannot compare this, And same applies to SSI. Of course, I'm an SSI guy. I have SSI on my t-shirt here. What SSI is offering to their students and to their instructors and dive centers, this is something different level than Molchanovs or IDA or PADI or so different agencies. So if we talk about uniqueness, for sure there are some things unique with Molchanovs, but I'm a little bit hesitant about saying they're the best with everything. Which I can tell you already, they're not the best with everything. If I message Molchanovs, their support, sometimes it takes me 2 days before I get an answer back. If I message SSI, it takes 15 minutes and I get an answer back. These are different agencies, but okay. So for sure, the organization is different and they offer a lot of valuable stuff. And we're going to talk about this. So the Molchanovs system, what does it exist out of? The wave system, the system that I explained here, which is completely unique from any other agency for sure.
Yeah.
The base training systems. Now, have you done any base training already? You have access to the training. Have you practiced? Are you familiar with the base training systems?
I saw it, but I haven't tried it.
So the base training systems, they're completely revamping, redesigning the base training systems at the moment. The next cycle of the base training systems will be much more in-depth. And the base training systems, again, we're going to talk about this a lot, are 12-week cycles of scheduled training. And the training starts, if you have 12 weeks, in the beginning it's foundation training, and at the end of the 12 weeks it is performance freediving. So more focused on max attempts, personal best, and this is quite nice. Base training is unique for Molchanovs. There's no other agency that offers this. This I don't like about SSI, for example. If you're teaching SSI, you want to keep someone, a customer from you, with you. You want to keep them in your shop, or you want to make money from them. You need to sell them a specialty, a monofin specialty, a no-fin specialty, training technique specialty. With Molchanovs, after the Wave 1 course or the Lab 1 course, your students can continue teaching. Your students can continue learning in the base training programs. This is 100% free of charge. Now, I'm a good freediver. I can say this, but if I can teach you the monofin technique, okay, maybe you listen to me, maybe you, okay, you know what, this guy might be something onto something. But instead of me teaching you the monofin technique, if Alexei, the world champion monofin technique with a world record of 130, who the hell am I, if Alexei teaches you this, you're listening, you're paying attention to what he says, Same goes for free immersion. I can teach you free immersion, but again, if Thibaut Guinness teaches you free immersion technique, I think Thibaut this year will do a world record free immersion. If Thibaut teaches you free immersion, you're listening. Now, these are the base training systems. World-class freedivers teaching you freediving. Now, this is, of course, quite unique. And with SSI or PADI or even IDA, I need to sell you a specialty. I need to sell you something. I don't want you to, I want to stay in freediving. I want you to keep active, stay training, and then maybe do the follow-up course with me. Now, Molchanovs offers the base training system. So we're going to talk a lot about this too. And then, of course, Molchanovs, the third part of the organization, is the freediving gear. We're not unique with this because SSI has, Mares is owned by Het. Het is a massive sports brand, SSI is owned by Mares. Mares is a big scuba brand. They do scuba tanks, they do masks, wetsuits and everything. Not only that, so SSI is owned by Mares, which is a big scuba brand. Mares is owned by Het, which of course is one of the biggest sports brands in the world. They are the biggest brand in tennis rackets, in golf equipment. Yeah, this is a massive, massive company. So Molchanovs is not unique in this. SSI has Mares gear. So the WAVE program and base training, the lab WAVE courses, this is this is used to acquire new skills and knowledge and gives you access to the base training. Now this is a little bit outdated because normally before it was when you did this part, you completed a WAVE 1 or lab 1 course, then you would be able to get access to the base training, and the base training is a possibility to master skills. So the courses are to acquire new skills, and the base training is to master new skills. In the past, you could only get access to the lab 1 after you get certified, lab 1 or WAVE 1. Now it's a little bit different. We separated this because we now have the theory courses. After you pass the theory certificate, you get access to the dry training base training. So immediately you are in the base training system. So this is also quite good, quite interesting, also for students, especially when you start teaching online. The base training induction allows access to the base training for certified freedivers from other agencies. So you can conduct this too. Induction is, for example, when you get an IDA 3-star or IDA 2-star student, you can do basically a workshop with them, you do the skills requirements, you do some theory, then you can get them into the Molchanovs system. Then we're going to talk about the workout of the week. The workout of the week is so similar to what I just said with the base training. I can teach you something, but you know, if people like Vitamir, who does 250 meter or 280 meter dynamic in the pool, if Vitamir tells you something about dynamic training, you're going to be listening. The workout of the week are fun, exciting exercises presented by one of these world-class freedivers. Then we have the benchmarks, which is an evaluation of certain skills. The badges, we're going to talk about this, and we can share all of this on the dashboard. And the badges are reward systems of Molchanovs. So the workout of the week, what is this? This is a general freediving workout plan. It's not really a workout plan, but it's an exercise to improve physical conditioning, working on skills and technique, and adaptation for either equalization or depth adaptation, or how to deal with contractions. They're different exercises. They're quite nice. The workout of the week is released every week, so they're special exercises, not part of the base training. They're individually adjustable, similar as with the base training. They come with 4 different levels. You have the base 1, the base 2, the base 3, and the base 4. And this is basically a performance level. So the base 4 is world-class freedivers listening to your skills. You're probably a base 3. After the course, when I certify you, I will classify you as a base 3 level. Most Instructors, they will pass, most instructors, they will sit somewhere between base 2 and base 3. Students, base 1, something like that. Yeah, different levels. The workout of the week is also opportunity for all certified freedivers to connect with the Molchanovs movement and to track progress, discuss training, and share ideas and experiences. It's important to note that the base training or the workout of the week is not a replacement for the lab or wave course. The lab or wave course is to acquire new skills. The base training or the workout of the weeks are for mastering the skills. For safety measures, for the water sessions, of course, never dive alone. I hope I don't need to explain this. The T certification, you can only participate in the dry training workouts, and the L certification, you can only participate in the dry and pool training. You cannot participate in the wave certification without a wave certification. Yeah. The benchmark workouts, they are an important indicator of readiness for the next base level. Way to compete and challenge. Workout includes activities such as sweet 16s, 500 meters over under, and 500 meter Torchica races. And for more information about benchmark workouts, you as a Molchanovs instructor will be able to consult your students and training. Yes. Have you done any workouts? Do these sound familiar? The sweet 16s, 500 meter over under.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done them?
No, I have done sweet 16, not the other one.
Okay. How did you like some of these exercises?
Well, for the sweet 16, it's teach me how to get comfortable more often, and then when I dive to 30, I have hurt on my thigh. So when I practice this, I realized that it's really good for me to train my lactic acid.
Okay.
That's why I realized. And it's really good to teach my maintenance, my body maintenance. Mm-hmm. That's what I felt.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. So next, then we have the badges. This is all related with each other. Performance-based benchmark badges or complete freediver badges. Others are meaningful or fun challenges or accomplishments. And badges are awarded to the Molchanovs movement members by Molchanovs instructors. I'm not sure if you can assign your own badges. I think I need to assign your badges or your Wave 3 coach or Wave 3 instructor. But yeah, let me check the list. Share my other screen.
Cái này là sinh nhật cô bạn tặng đấy.
So this is an infographic now. Please note that Molchanovs is updating the list with benchmarks and exercises. So they already added new exercises to the dashboard, like team exercises. This happened, sort of virtual exercises did happen in time of COVID. So they're going to come with new lists. So let's quickly go over some. We have the Sweet 16, which is 16 times 50 meter dynamic. The green is the easiest level, blue, red, and then gold. Now the gold, it's almost world champion level. You need to be pretty badass if you want to do this. I haven't done it yet. I think that for me, the only one that I could possibly get is probably the free immersion slow. But other than that, yeah, I think Sweet 16 dynamic. I think Vitamir is the only one who did this dynamic. No fins Sweet 16. Maybe Alexi and Vitamir can do this. Torchica race. It's not so easy. It's a nice exercise. A Torchica race 50 meters. So 50 meter slow crawl. The Sweet 16 is you have dynamic 16 times 50, or Sweet 16 dynamic no fins is also 16 times 50 dynamic. And already for the green badge, you need to do 32 minutes, which is quite yeah, quite a tough one. Static max, only Flow of Blue Immersion has a gold badge in this one. No one else has done it. And Flo said that doing this gold one is by far the most challenging thing he ever did in freediving. So this was absolutely horrible. But Flo is going to attempt. I talked to Flo yesterday. I talked to him regularly. He's going to attempt in 2021. He hopes later this year he's going to do a world record static. And the current world record static has been world record for I think 8 years or something. So yeah, you know, it demonstrates what kind of level you need to be for the gold badges. 500 meters over under, which is a fantastic exercise too. Green 14 minutes, blue 12 minutes, red 11 minutes, and gold 10 minutes. So 25 meters underwater, 25 meters over water, underwater, over water, and then use the over water time to breathe. So quite tough, but really nice. Also nice as an sort of as an after you maybe done some tables as a sort of a cool down, although it's not really a cool down, but it's nice. Then the free immersion Torchica race. Now this one I can probably do. I haven't done it yet, but maybe in the next. I slowly picked up training. I'm very happy to report that in the past years I haven't done much training simply because we're starting doing the center here, and I recently picked up training. So I think this is going to be my first big challenge. I think I'm going to shoot for the free immersion gold one soon, hopefully. Then we have the hero of the week result, best result worldwide in a workout of the week. Then the complete freediver. So now you should be able to do, or you're already a green badge here. The green badge is the 145, so 100 meter dynamic, a 40 meter constant weight, and a 5-minute static. Already be good for you. Next one, I think you already did too. No, you did 70 meter dynamic, right? Dynamic no fins.
Dynamic no fin, no, 75.
Yeah, so hopefully soon, when the pools open, we can certify you or assign you the blue badge. 100 meter dynamic no fins, 60 meter, oh no, sorry, so 60 meter constant weight. This is going
That's hard.
This is going to be challenging. And then
Yeah.
static. So yeah, this is, here you see immediately 200 meter dynamic, 80 meter constant weight, 7-minute static. Yeah, this is serious freediving already. And then the 200 meter dynamic no fins, 100 meter constant weight, and 8-minute static. Yeah, this is level Vitomir, Alexi. Yeah, this is the big boys. Then we have experience badges. The MacGyver badge, once you patch your own fins. Naturalist is dive nude to 30 meters. Lanyard is mandatory. No fins free immersion is acceptable, and extra respect for CNF. Okay, so yeah, if you have the urge to do this naked, you can do naturalist badge. If you ever get a chance to dive water of less than 1 degree centigrade, dive must be at least 1 minute or at least 10 minutes. This is okay too. I don't know if you ever had a chance to dive in cold water. Where did you
No.
do your freediving? Thailand, Vietnam, and did you travel around a bit?
No, I haven't.
No. I'm a very spoiled freediver too. I left the Netherlands 12 years ago. Yeah, 10 years, 12 years ago. The coldest I dove was in Egypt in winter, and that was 21 degrees, 20 degrees. So I'm very spoiled too. I don't like ice water. I don't like cold. So yeah, this is not for me. But okay. So there are different options and different badges. Like I said, hopefully in the next months, you know, this is Molchanovs. Things take time. Hopefully in the next weeks, in the next months, they will come out with the new badges. But yeah, a lot of cool things. They promote, same as what we're doing here in the center. So here in our center, we integrate the base training system with our master program. Molchanovs just came out with a new set of prints with the drawings. We're waiting for the updated version because then we want to print them as keychains. So we want to make small little keychains and stickers for students who are doing a free immersion Tortica race to 3 minutes. You know, then they can get this sticker. You know, they can stick it on their laptop. They can do something with it. It's nice. We can make gold keychains, for example, stuff like that. You can integrate this in your dive center and yeah, motivate your students. And this is quite nice. It's quite a cool system, actually. So I'm going to switch back to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay. All right. You can see my screen again. Oh, yep. I cannot flick screens. Okay. Okay. So those are the badges. The wave system, so I already mentioned 4 levels for theory, 4 levels for pool, and 4 levels for open water. So the T1 is the theory certification, and that's the dry skills and dry static. The lab is the same as the theory 1, 2, 3, and 4, only now with the pool skills added and the pool performance requirements. And the wave 4 is the lab 1, T1, or the pool levels plus the theory levels, and then add to this the water requirements and the pool requirements. The good thing about this is a T certification. I already mentioned this. If you are doing your T certification, or if I have students who are doing the T certification with me, they go to Vietnam, they can complete the lab 1 or their open water directly with you. So then you can skip the academic part. Important is, so the moment Molchanovs started doing the online certifications, I got emails of people that wanted to become a freedive instructor from 0 to hero. So doing the T1, the T2, the T3, and then the instructor course online. This is not possible. Freediving, you learn in the pool or in the ocean. It's impossible to make instructors from 0 to the full course online. The T certification can only be 1 step higher than the highest lab or wave certification. So what does it mean? If I have a wave 1, wave 2 students, I can only do the T3 certification. After their T3 certification, they need to complete the lab 3 or the wave 3 to continue with the T4. It's impossible for them to do this. This is not allowed. So after someone does the T2, they need to do the lab 2. After the lab 2, they can do the T3 again. Or after the T2, they do the wave 2, and then they do the T3. But this is going to be very important. So only one step higher than the highest lab or wave certification. A lab certification can be turned into a wave certification by adding the open water system, and a T certification can directly be turned into a wave certification by adding the pool and open water sessions. Yeah, make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
Got it.
Okay, so the different levels. The wave 1 is an introduction to freediving, discover your natural ability to freedive. The core skills of the wave 1. This is a body scan, 1 full breath, recovery breathing, the entire sequence. Static, 1.5 minutes. Dynamic bifins technique requirements, 30 meter. Dynamic no fins technique introduction. Free immersion, constant weight bifins, 12 to 20 meters for the wave classes. And then, of course, body and rescues. Compared to other agencies, and I really like this about the Molchanovs systems, is that with the Molchanovs system, you immediately have your students do the rescues. You immediately have them do the bodying. SSI is now changing this because we just had a big instructor training upgrade last week, where they announced that they're going to do this with the level 2 students, but in the past, only level 3 students were able to do each other's safety. Now, this is not preparing your students for freediving. Molchanovs says the moment students are comfortable in the water, doing dynamic, for example, they're going to do the rescues and the bodying system on each other. Now, I really like this. This is how you prepare students for training by themselves. So this is one of the requirements with the wave 1 course. Into the wave 2 level, intermediate freediving, learn how to train for freediving. So the core skills that you're going to be doing here: introduction to mindfulness, dynamic no fins technique, introduction to free fall, introduction to dolphin kick and monofin technique, constant no fins in the ocean for 15 meter, and constant weight bifins and free immersion. Skills requirements are between 24 and 30 meter max. I already mentioned for the lab 1, of course, the big topic is the breathing, and for the lab 2 or the level 2, it's frenzel equalization. The wave 3 level is master freediving, learn how to equalize below residual volume to achieve greater depth performances. The core skills: introduction to attention, deconcentration and mouthfeel, deep frenzel, introduction to FRC diving, introduction to FRC diving, free immersion, constant weight bifins to 34, maximum 40 meters, and rescue with pool exit or surface tow. A certified level 3 or wave 3 freediver can also act as an assistant in the Molchanovs labs or wave courses with certain conditions. We're going to talk about those later this week. And we're going to and can participate in the Molchanovs instructor course. The level 4, this might change a little bit in the next weeks, months. Competitive freediving, the skills and finesses required for competitive freediving. It's about mastering mouthfeel, dealing with pre-competition jitters, competitive training methodologies, and you need to do free immersion and constant weight bifins or constant weight. Monofin is allowed to plus 50 meters. They have been talking before, it was 60 meters for men and 50 meters for women. Now they make it equal. I think this is also a good thing. And I think they're going to set it at 50 meter requirements. So nice courses. The prerequisites for each course, see according to the course completion form. Here you have the first time mentioning the course completion form. Like I said, we're going to talk about this later this week. Course completion form is a training record where we keep track of what the student has done during the course. If certified for another agency, has considerable experience without certification. So unlike, for example, SSI, if I get an, this happens a lot when you're teaching, we get a lot of spear fishermen, people that have been free diving, you know, give you an example. I had a guy here 2 years ago, Anthony, a big 2 meter tall guy, has sometimes came from Greece, looked like Aquaman, you know, big muscly guy, long hair, a typical Greek, yeah, a Greek guy, you know, big muscle guy. He was, I can't remember, maybe 27, 28 years old. When he was 4, he was already diving in the water. He was already, his father, an old traditional Greek spear fisherman. When he was 4, his father pushed him in the ocean in the Mediterranean. He started free diving. So when he came here, he was already diving to 40 meters.
Oh.
No courses, no training, no exercise, only doing what his father has taught him, and just diving by himself time after time. Officially with SSI, I need to start him with a level 1 course. You know, I don't need to do it. You know, with Molchanovs, you're officially allowed to start with the level 2 or level 3 course immediately. Now, you're going to be you're going to be an SSI instructor too. I'm not saying this as your trainer, but if you have people interested in doing the SSI course and you get people like this, such an experience level, yeah, you're not going to put them in an SSI level 1 course. Do an evaluation with them and then put them in. Again, this is not your trainer because this is according standards not allowed. I'm telling you this as a fellow instructor because you're going to lose students because of this. Because if you don't, they're going to go to your neighbor and they're going to do an SSI course there. So again, I'm not your trainer talking now, but you know, you need to be a little bit more flexible with this, because a spear fisherman who's diving to 40 meters without any certification, they are not going to do the level 1 course. You know, I can tell you this. But okay. So with Molchanovs, we can apply a crossover evaluation. They're quite nice. And we can do a similar idea, similar setup with SSI. Although again, this is at the moment not allowed. They're gonna start with this for SSI level 1 course so that you can do an evaluation. But okay. For a crossover evaluation, the minimum age is 18 years old, 16 with parental consent. The student has to pass all the requirements outlined on the course completion form or after previous courses. So if you get this Greek spear fisherman, they need to complete all the exams. So let's say, for example, this student is going to do the wave 3 course. They need to complete the exams of the wave 1 and the wave 2, and they need to do all the wave 2 requirements. So it doesn't make sense. And has passed all written exams of the previous courses. The student must be checked in a pool or in open water, and you can see more information about this in the instructor training standards. The Molchanovs dashboard you already have linked, you have access to it. This is the CNAC system. At the moment, I'm not sure if they still use the community site too, but this is gonna, the CNAC website is the primary dashboard of the students. There are some different options, or there was a different website was called a CNAC or community website. They are not being used anymore. Everything is now moved towards the dashboard, and this is our main dashboard site. We're going to go over this by the end of the week. Instructor communication happens in a closed Facebook group. So after this, I'm going to add you to a Facebook group. Instructor webinars for Molchanovs instructors. You can use the Zoom app to actively participate or follow a live stream on Facebook or YouTube. And you can review past webinars on the dashboard or Facebook group, which is also quite nice. For you as an instructor, like I said, There was a webinar where Thibaut explained free immersion. There was a webinar where Alexei explained monofin technique and how to teach monofin technique. These webinars you can still find back in the dashboard, so you will get access to this too. This is highly, highly, highly recommended that you watch this. You will learn a lot from this, and this is all free. In the past, Molchanovs says we're going to do an instructor webinar every month. Well, I can tell you from my experience, it's not going to be every month, maybe every 1.5 months, every 2 months webinars, but there are free webinars with updates. Plus, then we have the newsletter from Molchanovs. The different instructor levels. So there's an entry level, which is going to be you. The Wave 2 the Lab 2 instructor or Wave 2 instructor. So besides this, we also have the Wave 1 instructor. Sorry, we don't have the Wave 1 instructor anymore. The first one is the Wave 2 instructor, and then we have the Wave 3 instructor. So Molchanovs says we don't do the Wave 1 instructor anymore, because as an instructor you need to demonstrate certain skill level that you should be allowed, you should be able to dive to 40 meters. You know, this is quite normal assessment for instructors, whereas with SSI or with IDA or PADI, you can also be a level 1 instructor. Then the requirements are not that challenging. So as a Wave 2 instructor, the level that you're going to be teaching on is you can teach the T1 and the T2, the Lab 1 and Lab 2, and the Wave 1 and Wave 2 courses. Then next level is an upgrade course. Will make you a Wave 3 instructor. Same as the Wave 2, only now you can teach the third level. Next level is the Wave 3 instructor trainer, which is the level that I am. But that's not it. Molchanovs, so this is similar as with all the other courses. The only difference after this is that you have a 4th recreational level. After this, you can, after my level, the Wave 3 instructor trainer, you can become a Wave 4 instructor. So you can pass the Wave 4 upgrade course. Then you'll be able to teach the T4, the Lab 4, and the Wave 4 course. After this, you can also become a Wave 4 instructor trainer. And these are people like Alexei, Vitamir, Adam, who else? Natalia Zakova, really top level athletes. Final level is the ITD, instructor training developer. And that's at the moment 5 people. That's Adam, Alexei, Vitamir, and Thibaut, plus Ollie Christen. Ollie is not a deep diver or an elite athlete, but he is very experienced instructor. And they can also they help develop the programs and the structure of the courses. So these are the different levels for Molchanovs. The fee structure is also quite interesting. There are 3 levels. This is also different with Molchanovs than with other levels. So the independent instructor pays a yearly instructor fee and then pays per certification. So the certification fee with Molchanovs is a fixed rate, it's $25 per certification. Now keep in mind, you don't pay for the certification, you pay for the study material. Certification is free once the study material has been paid for. So the moment you assign study material, you need to pay for the kit. Yearly instructor fee, I'm not 100% sure, so please don't pin me down on this. I think the independent instructor currently pays something around 90 or 120 US dollars, or maybe 150 US dollars per month. And then you pay for each student $25. Okay. And you get discount on one set of instructor gear. So you get 10 or 20% discount on Molchanovs gear. The next level is unlimited instructor. Unlimited instructor, they're going to raise the prices. At the moment, it's $650 per year. They're going to raise it to $900 a year. They're going to start with this year. If it's $650 a year, so this is the level that I am or my instructors are. Which, when you are an unlimited instructor, you don't pay for the certifications or for the study materials. If you teach more than 15 or 20 courses a year, or 20 or 15 or 20 students a year, you don't pay the $25. So your yearly fees will be cheaper. So this is why all the big centers like us, like Superhome, like Frida Plus, like Blue Immersion, why they're all Frida FITC, why they're all switching to Molchanovs, because Molchanovs is much cheaper. Now I have 3 unlimited instructors at a dive center subscription, which is the next one. This is going to cost me about $2,000 a year, but I don't pay for any student certifications. Whereas with Molchanovs, I pay, or with IDA or with SSI, I pay for certification $25, $25. Yeah, this adds up quite quickly. So unlimited instructor, higher yearly fee, but no certification or student fee. Again, benefits on discount on instructor gear, or you can get discounts or cashback options on student gear. The last option, and this is also quite unique, as a dive center, means that you have 3 unlimited instructors on staff. Benefits of 3 sets of instructor gear, discounts and cashback options for student gear, and the option to become a Molchanovs dealer. Now, we used to be a Molchanovs dealer, we still sell Molchanovs gear, but I can tell you already, if you start a small center, as a Molchanovs dealer, you need to do $10,000 a year with Molchanovs gear. So we're a big center, we don't sell $10,000 a year in Molchanovs gear. So this is, okay. You can become a Molchanovs dealer, but okay. The exams that you need to do is, so does all the levels of teaching, the education system make sense? Eh? Instructor levels make sense too? The instructor levels and the cost associated to the levels make sense?
Come again?
Is it clear all the different levels of the courses?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, so then the last thing of this course, we briefly talked about it, the entry level and the final exam. It's a selection of the wave 1, 2, and 3 exam questions. Passing rate of 90%, unlike the recreational levels, they are 80%. You can find a link in the course materials, and for each exam you get maximum only 2 attempts. Okay. Officially, if there's, for example, a difficulty, I've only encountered it once with a Korean student who had difficulty with his English. He was struggling. Officially, after 2 attempts, I need to message Molchanovs and they need to open up the course again or the exam again, because officially, if you fail the exam twice, I need to send you to another IT or to another, to another IT. But you're gonna pass. I'm not so worried about this.
But I am.
yeah, I can imagine. The questions, you need to study for it. It's not super easy. Once you study for it, and even if you pass, even if you fail, we need to review the questions, and then we're going to go over that again. It's okay. Like I said, in all the years that I'm now teaching, I've only had 1 student, 1 year that I'm teaching, almost 1.5 years. I'm teaching the Molchanovs courses. I only had 1 student fail the exams twice. So, and this was really because of challenging English. So I'm not so worried about you. But okay, it is complicated questions. You need to think about it properly, and especially read it properly, because a lot of people go fast, and then they miss a lot of questions. And then the last certification and exam is going to be the online instructor exam, and this one you need to pass with 80% passing rate. So we're going to do this again at the end of the course, and I think this is about it. So this is the first slide set. Okay, how's that?
It's good.
Yeah.
Very informative.
All clear?
Yeah, it's
Good.
pretty good. Thanks.
Good. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, maybe 15 minutes, get a coffee, stretch the legs a little bit. And then in about 15 minutes, we're going to resume. So it's now 10:30 here, 9:30 in Vietnam. Where are you based in Vietnam?
Hanoi.
Oh, no. Okay, good. And then, so let's take a 15-minute break and then we pick it up again. And then we're going to continue with the next slides. Cool?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. See you in a while.
Sorry?
See you in a while.
Yes, see you in a while. Bye-bye.